important live. Share this live with somebody you know that has fibroids, okay? Share this live with somebody you know that has fibroids, with endometriosis, ovarian cyst, that's dealing with endometriomas, that's dealing with any type of uterine tumor or tumors in the body at all. They're gonna learn a lot today. Again, we're talking about how can you start eliminating your fibroids holistically, naturally, okay, without the surgery, without the medications, without the birth control. All right. So if that is you, if you are dedicated to doing this work of womb healing, natural womb healing, you're in the right place. Okay. So welcome. As you guys are coming in, whether you're coming in on YouTube or TikTok, let me know where you guys are coming from. I would love to know, okay, where you guys are watching from. All right. So most women, when they're on this journey of getting rid of fibroids, right, they get stuck into this whole paradigm of trying everything. And they think, they've tried a couple things. Okay, New Jersey, welcome. Yes, let me know where you guys are watching from. Come on in. A lot of women think that they've tried everything to dissolve their fibroids. Maybe you've tried herbs, maybe you've tried this, maybe you've tried that, right? I've heard it in almost every live stream. Okay, we have New Jersey, Jamaica. So, but what if I told you that even though it seems like you're trying everything, you haven't even started the real process yet? We're gonna talk about it. So pray. Okay, we have a couple people from Jamaica. I want to say this: prayers to Jamaica. I hope that you guys are in a safe location, and that you guys weren't affected too bad by the storm. So definitely, that's one of my favorite countries ever. I love Jamaica, and I love Jamaicans. So prayers to Jamaica. Okay, if you're watching this, if you're from Jamaica, sending my love, my prayers. All right, and hopefully I'll be there soon. Okay, so New Jersey, we have 2 women from New Jersey. Welcome. If you're watching me for the first time, let me know in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you're watching from the first for the first time. Like the video, click the thumbs up button, YouTube. Tap on the screen, TikTok, so we can get more women in here, because we need to talk about how do we start eliminating your fibroids holistically. Okay, we have one. Okay, so for those that are new, welcome. I'm happy that you're here. Welcome. My name is Sasha. I am a holistic womb specialist. Okay, what I do is I help women. Dissolve their fibroids. I partner with women to dissolve their fibroids and reverse reproductive health conditions. Okay, and I do that through my womb detoxification framework. Okay, that targets the root cause. That deeply targets the root cause of fibroids, of endometriosis, of ovarian cysts, of these conditions, these uterine prolapse, of these uterine conditions, in order to fully heal from them. You cannot fully heal from anything. You cannot address anything properly unless you get to the root cause of the problem. So that's what we're all about, root cause healing. And that looks different than just trying random things. That is being intentional about what you're actually doing to heal, okay? So there's so many women, put a 1 in the chat, this is you. There's so many women, they've tried everything to heal, whether it's fibroids, whether it's, ovarian cysts, whether it's, they try everything. Sorry, I got thrown off. Somebody said they remember me. That's why I got thrown off. They've tried everything to heal, whether it's teas, detox teas, cleanses, whether it's, herbs and this and that. They've tried everything to heal, right? And a lot of times I had somebody come on here yesterday that told me she's tried everything and it's not working. Because what if I told you haven't even really started the process of healing yet, okay? You haven't even started the process of healing. Okay, so I want to keep it on topic. We talk about, okay, degenerate fibroids. Thought this is some of my word, gray. Oh, I've never heard of gray fibroids, but it's very possible, because when you talk about calcified fibroids that are degenerating, they've lost their blood supply and they've hardened, okay? So that is a more complex situation because we are, number one, the blood supply has been lost. The fibroids are harder. So it can be a little bit more of I don't want to say dangerous situation, but more complex, right? So I would say as soon as possible, start the process of healing. Start the process of getting to the root cause of the problem, right? Now, but I don't want you to be alarmed. We have to start making these lifestyle changes, all right? So it's important that dissolving fibroids holistically, naturally, and if you're on here, we're talking about holistic healing, okay? It's not about, you have to understand how your body developed fibroids in order to actually properly dissolve them, right? A lot of us don't know and don't even really seek out the information of how your body actually developed the fibroids, right? And that's actually to your own detriment because you're just out here trying everything they put up, you know, everything they tell you online or everything, whatever you hear about. You're trying this to get rid of fibroids. You're trying castor oil. You're trying, somebody told me garlic water. I'm like, you guys are trying everything, but actually getting to the root cause of the problem. And that's the problem within it. And that's why you're not seeing real results. So I want you to refrain from, I'm trying everything, and stop trying these random remedies and act, because that's not healing holistically. That's not healing holistically, right? I'm gonna break down what actually healing holistically really is. Okay? Just trying whatever to throw in spaghetti at the wall to see what works is not healing holistically. We have to be more intentional about our healing journey. And I'm tired of hearing women that's like, I've tried everything. Okay, but why haven't you actually got to the root cause of the problem? You're just trying to put, it's like I said yesterday, it's just trying to plant flowers on polluted soil. It doesn't make any sense, right? So we have to unpollute the soil first. So what does holistic actually mean? Holistic means natural, yes, yes, but it also means, because this is the piece people lose, complete healing, right? Complete holistic healing, right? It's not just about herbs and teas and avoiding meat. It's so much deeper than that. That's not holistically healing. When your womb is in crisis, you don't just throw everything to see what works, right? And when you have fibroids, not just your womb is in crisis, your body's in crisis. And that's not to scare you. That's just to let you know, listen, your body is, dealing with lots of toxicity. Your body's dealing with excess waste, right? Your hormones are out of balance. That's to tell you what's actually really going on with your body. Okay. Hey, Reem, welcome. Yeah. And if you're watching from YouTube, y'all don't forget to click the thumbs up button. Okay. The actual thumbs up button, not just the love button, the thumbs up, the actual thumbs up button. You guys know. But welcome, Reem. Okay. So the body, when you're healing holistically, that is physically, emotionally, energetically. And that's why my clients get the results that they get, because we're combining those things when it comes to healing, because those things have to be addressed when we're talking about fibroids, right? So when I say true healing includes physical, emotional, energetic. Physical as in you're getting to you're balancing the hormones, because if you have fibroids, your hormones are out of balance, right? So that's what I mean by physical, and also supporting those elimination organs, because if we have fibroids, our gut is backed up, the liver is overloaded, the body's filtration system is overloaded. It's not working properly and efficiently. So we have to support our organs in order to do their job effectively. The lymphatic system is backed up when you have fibroids. You got to support your organs in order to actually be able to heal. So this is why a lot of women that have fibroids have things like fatty liver issues. It's very, very common. Kidney stones. A lot of women that have fibroids, right? Because the body is also dehydrated on a cellular level. This is why we're not able to, a lot of times, absorb enough nutrients. This is why a lot of women that have fibroids are anemic, or they're low in vitamin D. They're also low in many other minerals, right? So also, too, you have to include emotional healing as well. So you have to, I was talking about this yesterday, the things that you've suppressed. A lot of us have suppressed a lot of trauma that we've been through. We've suppressed we suppressed trauma, we suppressed the experiences, the heartaches, the grief. We've just carried it in our body. That we have to get out of that. That's not healing, right? So we cannot expect to heal when we're carrying heartbreak in our hearts. We're carrying all of this stuff on an energetic level. So we have to start to process through that and release it. Okay. Also, too, energetically, you have to heal energetically as well. Your body has to feel safe to heal. Your body has to feel safe in order to heal, okay? Okay, you're here. Okay, you're back on YouTube. Welcome, Reem. Yes, if you guys are watching from TikTok, be sure to subscribe also to the YouTube channel. I stream live from YouTube as well, okay? So, and also tap the screen, tap the like button. If you're watching from YouTube, tap the thumbs up button. So you can't heal in a body that's toxic. You can't heal when your liver is backed up, when your gut's backed up, and when your lymphatic system is backed up. That you can't just throw herbs on that and think that that's going to work, right? Even though you may feel a little bit better, but you're not going to actually get rid of the fibroid, okay? We're all about getting to the root cause of the problem so that fibroids does not become a reoccurring issue in your life. I hear so, and let me know in the chat, how many years have you been dealing with fibroids? How many years ago were you diagnosed with fibroids? Because I keep hearing 10 years, 20 years. Women going decades dealing with this problem. And doctors have lied to women telling you guys that, oh, it goes away magically during menopause. And that's not the truth. They're lying to you. I'm not going to say they're lying to you. They just don't have enough information about fibroids. Unfortunately, the medical system does not have enough information, does not really understand the woman's reproductive system, right? This is why they fail women. This is why almost every woman has fibroids, endometriosis. Every woman you talk to has one of the, fibroids or endometriosis or ovarian cysts or PCOS or heavy bleeding, estrogen dominant issues. And doctors are not doing anything but cutting women open, taking out their wombs, doing surgeries and medications, but they're not doing, there's no holistic part to it. I wanted to ask you, I have fibroids and now discovered I have thyroid nodules. Here's the thing. And I was talking about this before yesterday. When you're estrogen dominant, you can easily get another estrogen dominant condition. And thank you for letting me know that. When you're estrogen dominant, ladies, listen up. When you have fibroids, your body is out of balance. Your hormones are out of balance. Your body's estrogen dominant. So thyroid issues fall under the umbrella of estrogen dominance. So does fibroids, so does ovarian cysts, so does heavy bleeding, so does passing clots during your cycle. Estrogen dominance, so it's important. Do you know why it's so important? Do you know why it's so important for you to reverse estrogen dominance? And estrogen dominance can be reversed because guess what? It can lead to estrogen dominant for not everybody. Now, don't be scared, but it can lead to estrogen dominant cancers. What else is under the umbrella of estrogen dominance? Breast cancers, ovarian cancer, uterine cancer. These cancers, it's so important. It's so important that you reverse estrogen dominance. Do not allow, because it starts off, and I said this yesterday, I said that it starts off as fibroids. Women that have fibroids almost always have other health issues. And a lot of women they don't piece it together. They don't understand that it's all a correlation. Our body works as a whole. So if you have fibroids and thyroid issues, what does that mean? That means that, again, they have the same root causes. That means the progesterone is super low, the estrogen dominance, the body's dealing with lots of waste in the body, so the hormones are all jacked up. We got to get to the root cause of the problem. So the beauty of it is that as you're healing from fibroids, you're also as well heal the thyroid and improve the thyroid function, okay? Surgical procedure back in 2019. So, okay, you had surgery in 2019 and you said the fibroids are back in 2020. Unfortunately, that's what happens. Most women who opt for surgeries, they say fibroids come back. Absolutely, Z, that is the truth. That is the truth. Let me put in that comment. I would say almost pretty much all at this point. I mean, at this point, they eventually have fibroids come back unless they're very aggressive with their regimen, which most women are not after surgery. Okay. Hey, Candace, welcome. It's been a while. Welcome. Most women who opt for surgeries, I'm going to repeat what you said again. Majority of women who opt for surgeries say their fibroids come back. That is a fact. Your fibroids will continue to come back until you get to the root cause of the problem. I need you to know that. And if the fibroids don't come back, it will be another health condition. It could be endometriosis or ovarian cysts or thyroid issues. So y'all have to take this stuff seriously. So, hey, Jessica, Sasha's the real deal lady. She knows her stuff. Thank you, Jessica. Jessica has worked with me before. Hold on. Can you take iodine to relieve thyroid issues? You want to heal thyroid issues. You got to get to the root cause of the problem. You can, but it's not going to heal it, right? We have to get to the root cause of the problem. We have to get out of this. We just going to throw medication or we're just going to throw a supplement on it. Okay. We kind of been brainwashed to think that that's not how we heal the body. We're trying to heal what caused the thyroid issues in the first place. What caused the hormones being out of balance, the body dealing with lots of toxicity, the gut being backed up, the liver. If you have thyroid issues, that liver and the gut is backed up. Same thing with fibroids. This is why a lot of women that have fibroids have thyroid issues or eventually get thyroid issues if they don't already. Mine are back after the surgery in 2022. For those of you that had fibroids come back, I'm so sorry. Put a 1 in the chat. If you're watching whether you're watching from YouTube or TikTok, put a 1 in the chat if you've had your fibroids come back after surgery. Unfortunately, this is very common. I hate to say because surgery, and that will prove to you, surgery does not take care of the root cause. So ladies, if you have a surgery scheduled, cancel it. Cancel because it's going to come right back. You want to get to that root cause. I have endometriosis and PCOS. I want to heal myself. I love that. I'm so happy I bumped into your life. I love that. Woo! I love that. Yes. Listen, as women, our bodies are very powerful. Your body can't heal, but you have to provide the right environment for it to heal. You can't be out here doing the same things that got you the fibroids and think that your body can heal, okay? So let me talk about, you can't dissolve fibroids while the internal environment in your body that caused the fibroids still exists. That you can't do that. You can't do that, right? So you have to change the internal environment in your body. So let's talk about the common mistakes women that have fibroids typically make when they're on this healing journey alone, right? Relying on random fibroid teas or herbs. And I'm not saying not to take those things. I'm not saying not to do natural remedies, but you still have to address the root cause. You still have to address the root cause. You still have to support your hormones. You still have to rebalance your hormones, completely restore your hormonal balance. You still have to support your elimination organs, right? You still have to cleanse the lymphatic system, right? Get your body to the point where it's actually absorbing nutrients, because you're putting all these supplements and all these herbs, and your body can't even properly absorb them due to the toxicity in the body, right? So another mistake women make is also focusing on diet alone. Changing your diet is very important, don't get me wrong. And there's a difference between what society deems as a healthy diet and an actual womb healing diet. There's a difference, okay? So a lot of times what they deem as healthy, especially the Western medicine, especially in the Western world, the standard American diet, what they deem as healthy is not a womb heal. It's not healing to the womb. Okay? So when you're in a situation where you have fibroids, where you have hormonal issues, where you have these issues, right? Wow, in 5 minutes flat, you educated me stress and toxic men will cause thyroid issues. Absolutely. Absolutely. When the body's and we're going to talk about this too. When the body's in a state of stress, of course, your hormones are going to be jacked up. That's actually the cortisol is actually the trigger for fibroids. Like if you look at the hormone hierarchy, before the sex hormones become out of balance, the cortisol and the insulin was affected first, because they're the foundational hormones. That's why you can't heal the body when you're in a state of stress, okay? So absolutely. This is why you can't heal in when you're in toxic relationships. I tell my clients that straight up. Your body cannot heal when you're in toxic relationships, even in toxic jobs. I'll be honest with you, right? I'm not telling anybody to quit their job, but what I am saying is that you have to move differently. You have to stop prioritizing yourself and pouring more into yourself, right? So we'll get to that, Z. Hold on, Z. We'll get to that. I was supposed to have a total hysterectomy. Be sure to cancel that, okay? Anybody that's watching this that's supposed to have a hysterectomy that hasn't one scheduled or has a myomectomy scheduled, cancel that, because again, it's not getting to the root cause of the problem. Never let them take your womb. I'm saying this straight up. And if you're a Black woman, they fighting to take that womb. You guys should know this. Don't allow them to take your womb. Don't allow them. And I know a lot of women have, and I'm not saying that they're less than a woman, because they're not, but just don't let them take your organs, your gallbladder, all of that stuff. Your body can be regenerated and healed. Your body can be healed, okay? Your body can be healed. I said no to a hysterectomy. I love that. I did too. At one point in my 20s, they was trying to give me a hysterectomy. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? They're trying to take your womb by any means necessary. You cannot allow them to win, okay? I don't care if you never want to have children. Your womb is still there for a reason. You were born with that. You don't see them taking out men's parts. Men are not allowing them to take out their parts, okay? So it's important. You have to put your foot down when it comes to your body. You can't allow these doctors just to cut you open anyhow. You can't just allow that. Unless it's that's saving your life. Stop adhering to these surgeries. Stop allowing them to just cut into your uterus anyhow, in any way, right? Your body is very powerful and it can heal naturally, okay? So it's important. I'm a functional health counselor, and everything you are saying is true to what I've learned too. I love that. I'm happy that they're teaching people real health finally. Real health and just, And for anybody, if this what I'm saying does not align with you, this is holistic. I'm just saying this is holistic healing. Okay, so what if you are was trained, and I'm gonna talk about you, agency health. I'm just saying in general, if you were trained by the Western world, Western medicine, what I'm saying is not going to align with you, and that's okay. Okay. Because what I'm saying is literally the opposite of what your doctor says to you. Literally the opposite. Okay. So you also, a common mistake women make is they focus so much on the physical healing. They don't focus on their nervous system. They don't focus on their emotions as well. Because your body has to feel safe to heal. You cannot be in toxic relationships. You cannot be in fight or flight mode. Your body cannot be in a parasympathetic, in a sympathetic state. Your body has to be able to feel safe and calm to heal, and be in a parasympathetic state to heal, right? So you have to work on your nervous system, the fight or flight, your body being in survival mode. You have to address all of that stuff, right? And I'm not just talking about financially. I'm just saying some women, they're so used to living in fight or flight mode. They're so used to living in that. Like to the point where they'll create situations unknowingly to put them in that situation, right? They will create situations unknowingly to put them in this situation. So you have to be really careful with that. So when I'm helping women heal, it's so much more than just physically. It's also emotionally. It's also energetically as well. It's also getting them out of that state of stress. Okay, cortisol level affects your thyroid. Absolutely. Oh yeah, cortisol affects your thyroid. Absolutely. Wow, you're really connecting a doctor. Please recommend GYN and NYC. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't recommend any doctors. I don't recommend any doctors. I will say this though, because, and what are you, so I'm not telling anybody not to go to the doctor, but what I am saying is that when it comes to your reproductive health, there's not much they can do for you. Besides surgeries, besides medication, besides birth control, what can they really do for you? I'm saying that I'm unless you are pregnant and want to have a baby, even then I wouldn't go to the doctor. That's just me. That's just me. I would go the doula route. But that's just me. But if you are not pregnant, if you are having fibroids, if you're having these womb issues, right? You have to ask yourself, I want you to ask yourself, what am I going to the doctor for? Are they going to be able to get rid of my fibroids? Are they going to be able to help me heal holistically, heal naturally? Are they going to support me healing naturally? Or are they going to try to talk me out of that and fear mom and, try to scare me into having surgery? Okay, I'm just saying. I feel super stressed at work at times and trying to control that. You have to. You got to control that. You have to control that, right? And your womb can't heal if your body's in defense mode. It can't. You have to work on your stress management of the ultimate healthcare. Absolutely. If your body is, listen, stress is the worst things for you. It's the worst thing. I'm telling you, if you are dealing with stress, there's no way your body can heal. You can forget getting rid of fibroids. It's not going to happen. They're going to grow. They're going to grow. That's one of the first things I tell my clients. Like, before we do anything else, we got to handle this stress. We have to handle this stress, right? And I'm really, really good at helping women alter their life, modify their lives in a way where they're not feeling stressed. Because a lot of times when we're stressed out, we're doing too much of what we don't want to do. We're prioritizing everybody else but ourselves. We're not pouring into self. When women are stressed, they're not pouring into themselves, and you haven't even, when was the last time you did a creative hobby? When was the last time you've done something for you and your soul, right? When was the last time you've engaged in that? You can, I know that work can be stressful sometimes, and that's just life, but what are you doing outside of work? Are you just living to work and pay bills and that's it? And take care of, whoever, kids and husband, and that's it? That's all you're doing? You're not pouring into, when are you pouring into you? When are you doing what feeds your soul, right? Of course you're going to feel stressed. Of course you're going to feel unhappy. And of course you're going to feel, like you want to run away from your life, if that is you, right? So they only care about money in their pocket. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's just how, and I don't want to blame doctors because I just don't, because they're trained a certain way, right? So they don't want to lose their license. They have to go by what they were trained to do, even if they know better. Because I've talked to doctors behind the scenes, and a lot of them, some of them be doing holistic healing behind. Don't get me started on that. Let me not. I've talked to them, and I've worked with not medical doctors, but I've worked with pharmacists, in my program that I've helped heal. Yes, women that have PhDs, but not medical doctors, right? Because they tend to be a little stubborn. But anyway, so what has you have to, like I said, let's talk about what has to be addressed before your fibroids shrink. And before we get into that, I do want to say, for those women that are watching that are interested, I do have a 3-day fibroid elimination workshop coming up this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, so for those women that are interested in learning how to get rid of their fibroids, and the physically, emotionally, and also to learning the protocol that will help them shrink their fibroids before 2026, because we have about a little bit less than 2 months left before 2026. And I told you guys I posted about my client, and if you're not, I'm going to post it on my community tab as well, YouTube. I posted about my client who shrunk her fibroids by 4 centimeters in 2 months, okay? And rebalanced her hormones are so much better. Her periods are so much better. Her ovulation is a lot healthier now in just 2 months. She went from a 7 centimeter fibroids to 3 centimeter fibroids. She shrunk them by 4 centimeters. So if you're interested in joining the 3-day workshop, she worked with me in my 2-month intensive for 2 months. But in that so if you are not able to work with me one-on-one, then get in that 3-day fibroid elimination workshop. It is only $200. Okay, and that's actually the early bird price, because it will go up in a couple of days. Okay, so if you're interested, the link is in my bio, TikTok. The link is in my description box, YouTube. Okay, so hold on, let me read some comments. Colonics help relieve pain in the reproductive area if you have any gut issues. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not against colonics, but I will say this. You have to act, if you need a colonic, because your body is meant to release waste naturally, right? If you need a colonic, it's more than likely that your lifestyle is causing you to accumulate waste. A lot of times a colonic as well gets rid of good and bad bacteria. So be very wary of those, right? Your body should be able to release waste naturally, right? So what in our lifestyle is causing us to not be able to release waste, right? Because your body was meant to release. You're not supposed, our bodies are not made. We got to return back to nature, y'all. Our bodies were not made to, need colonics all the, maybe once in a while if you are really suffering, but I just wouldn't, that's not a cure for gut issues, because they will come right back. They'll come right back, right? If you haven't changed anything about your lifestyle, that's not a cure for gut issues. We have to stop seeking quick fixes and actually do the real work. It's a total lifestyle change, okay? I know it's like I don't know if it's an American thing or it's just the way of the world now. Everybody just want a quick fix. Somebody said, could I repeat that? Could I repeat what? Could I repeat what exactly? I'm not sure what you talking about, what I said about colonics, or what exactly? So what has to be addressed before fibroids can shrink? Let's talk about it, okay? Your nervous system, you got to shift that out of survival mode. A lot of you guys, and you have to learn how to feel safe in your body. The course information. Okay, real quick. We have a 3-day workshop. That's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, okay? That's called the 3-day fibroid elimination workshop. And if that is me going to be teaching you for 3 days how to get rid of your fibroids, right? Not just the root causes. We'll go over that. We'll go over the how to emotionally release, how to energetically release the energetic emotional weight from the body as well, so you're not holding in trauma. Because a lot of you guys, if you have fibroids, we're also holding on to negative emotions, whether it's grief, whether it's we're suppressing them. So we're going to talk about how to release that stuff. We're also going to talk about the protocol on how to get rid of fibroids, and we also have Q&A. How do I sign up for the 3-day program? So the 3-day workshop, the link is in my bio. TikTok, if you want to sign up for the 3-day workshop, it is $200. That's the early bird price. The full price is $297. So get in now. And the next 2, I think it's 1 or 2 women, gets special bonuses that sign up. It's 4 special bonuses that will amplify your results, okay? So I would sign up as soon as possible, okay? And YouTube, the link is in my bio to sign up in the 3-day fibroid elimination workshop. Okay, so there's that. So what has to, hopefully you guys, what was I gonna say? Hopefully you guys was able to hear that and get the information. But it's gonna be on Zoom from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So even for those that can't make it, let's say Friday you're working, you will still get the replays. If you register, you will still get the replays. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you're in the building or not. If you register, you will get all the replays, and you can watch them over, lifetime access to the replays. You can watch them over and over and over and over again, right? So you listen, that is a steal. That is a steal. And if for those that are new, I've been doing this for a very long time and helping women. I've helped hundreds of women not just shrink fibroids, eliminate their fibroids. Not shrink, yes, but also eliminate their fibroids. And not just fibroids, endometriosis, eliminate adenomyosis, uterine prolapse, so many different health conditions, okay? Now, your body, you have to get your nervous system, you have to calm the nervous system down. You have to regulate the nervous system. That's important. Your body cannot heal when it's in fight or flight mode. Your body cannot heal when it feels unsafe. It cannot, okay? So that's important. You have to shift that in your body, right? Do what you have to do to shift that. That means that we have to start doing things, prioritizing ourselves more, pouring into ourselves more, right? We have to start, like I said, learning how to decompress and stress, right? Actually tuning into our bodies. A lot of women don't even know how to tune into their bodies. They don't really, there's no connection there with the body. You have to start building a connection there with your body, okay? That's important. This is why we run to doctors for everything. Every little thing we run to doctors. I teach my clients how they can be their own first doctor. I'm not saying if an emergency happens, but I'm saying you should be your own first doctor, okay? That's number one. So, your hormones, in order for your fibroids to shrink, your hormones have to rebalance. You got to restore your hormonal balance. If you have fibroids, those hormones are out of balance. They're way out of whack, okay? So that's important. You have to, so a lot of women, when they talk about fibroids, they don't talk about their hormones. That's the problem. I hear a lot of content about fibroids. I don't hear hormones. Your hormones are out of balance if you have fibroids. And your hormones are responding to the environment in your body. They're responding to your body being in a state of stress. Okay? So also too, your elimination organs must be supported. Okay? Wow, you are chock full of information. Oh yeah, you listen, if you're on my lives, I give you guys a lot of information. If you watch so be sure to also click the link to my and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, because I have all of these replays on YouTube. Okay, and I go live on YouTube, and I don't know how long when we going live on TikTok. And also get on our email list. If you're not, everybody, and that's to everybody, whether you're on TikTok or YouTube, if you're not on our email list, get on our email list so you can get our 7-day fibroid healing series. Okay, you can get access to that. You can't get access. You have to get on our email list. I want you guys to learn as much as you can about fibroids, right? You have to, before you're like, I know that it's so easy to just get into, well, how do I get rid of fibroids? First, you need to learn how these developed. So you don't continuously develop fibroids over and over and over and over again in your life. There's women that's been dealing with fibroids like multiple times in their life. You don't want that. I haven't had fibroids in almost 15 years, and thank God they haven't come back. And I had them twice, not once, but twice. Okay? We're now in a time where 9-year-olds are getting fibroids. Yes. Even though that's rare right now, and in the future, I don't think it will be rare if we continue on this trajectory, but it's a real thing, right? So it's important. So what has to be addressed before your fibroids can shrink? The nervous system, you have to regulate that nervous system, get the stress under control, okay? And don't tell me you can't. You have to. This is for your health. This is for your life. You have to. Stress kills. You got to take this. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they didn't understand and didn't know that their stress was a driving factor for their fibroids to thrive. Their body wasn't healing the way they wanted to because they were dealing with so much anxiety and stress. I'm like, we got to handle that first. We have to handle that first before you can change your diet or do anything else you want to do. If you don't handle that anxiety and stress, you can forget it. Your body cannot heal in a state of stress. So your hormones must be in balance. Your elimination organs have to be supported. That means that the liver, the kidneys, right, the lymphatic system, the gut, the colon, the gut, like all of these have to be supported in order for your bodies to heal. So if we have fibroids, these are backed up. They're overloaded. Their gut is, when you have fibroids, that's gut issues by default. That's backed up gut by default, right? Because your body can't even form fibroids, develop fibroids without that gut being backed up, without that lymphatic system being congested, without all of these issues going on in the body, without the hormones being out of balance. Also, too, before your fibroids can shrink, you have to start release all of this emotional, suppression and also stagnation. And what does this look like? This looks like either we're wearing our trauma, we're making our, we're like there are things that people have gone through when they were children, and I get it. It does stay with you, but you have to work through that stuff. You cannot let it let it clog your head, let it clog your mind, let it determine your reality. You cannot let it weigh on you, right? A lot of people are wearing their trauma. We can't do that. The body, that's how your body gets sick. This is why the fibroids develop in the first place, putting the body in a state of stress. So this emotional stuff that we're wearing has to start to be worked through, addressed, and start to be released so that you can feel freer. So this is why my clients, not only do they get results with shrinking their fibroids and eliminating their fibroids, they also feel a lightness. They also feel happiness because they don't have all of that emotional stuff weighing down on them, because you have to start working through that and releasing that. Okay, so all that support, and also too, women are either holding onto their trauma or they're suppressing it. That's another problem as well. So what does that look like? That looks like we've gone through heartbreaks, we've gone through childhood trauma, but we just kind of just keep moving. We don't even address it. It's still there. The body will always keep score, okay? The body will always keep score. So I don't know why I'm not getting that many likes on TikTok. What's going on today, okay? So let's like the video so we can, like the video. Again, this is stuff that your doctor, like I always say, your doctor's not sharing this with you. So make sure to like the video. Tap on the screen, y'all. It's free. So thank you so much for liking. Yes, tap on the screen. Let's get the likes up. At least a 1.5, 2.0 something, right? So fibroids are not random. You did not grow fibroids randomly. Thank you, Sammy, for liking the video. You did not grow fibroids randomly. You did not. Thank you, Sylvia, for liking the video. You did not grow fibroids randomly, okay? They're not random growths, right? You didn't just grow fibroids because they're running in your family. It's because the environment in your body created the fibroids. If the environment in your body if your body was in a healthy state, if your body was not, your hormones were not out of balance, if your liver was not overloaded, right? All of these things have to occur before fibroids can develop. If that wasn't the case, you would not have developed fibroids. You could be more predisposed to fibroids, yes, but that is not, just because you're predisposed to something does not mean you have to develop it. But if your conditions in your body, are that attracts fibroids, that's going to happen, right? So if you have a toxic environment in the body, that's going to happen. So that's important. So we have to shift our body. We have to heal the body. We have to heal the internal environment in our body, also the emotional environment in our body, so that we're no longer having a body that is holding on to waste. We have a body that will release and allow things to flow and allow, us to actually absorb nutrients, so that the waste in our body is no longer in a state of stress and inflammation. Because if you have fibroids, again, your body's also inflamed. Okay, so that's important. So what does holistic healing feel like before you see the results, before the results show up, right? When you're on a journey to get rid of fibroids, what are some things you're going to notice? First of all, your health is going to improve just drastically. And that, when I say that, I mean in your whole entire body, not just your menstrual cycles. And all of your symptoms will clear up, but your health, you'll just feel more energy. You'll sleep deeper. You'll sleep better. You'll feel more vitality. You also feel a sense of happiness and more self-fulfillment. You also be more connected to your body. You'll get more intuitive hits and creative hits. So for those that are, because I always say women that have fibroids, again, and the issues with the womb is an energetic organ. It's your feminine center. So when we have issues with that, that's a reflection of what's really going on in our lives. So if we have fibroids, we have, heavy bleeding, adenomyosis, all of these issues with our womb, that's a reflection of what's going on in our lives. More than likely, you're living in overwhelm, you're living in stress, you're living in unfulfillment, unhappiness, right? You feel stuck in your life. Fibroids is stagnation. This is what's going on the inside will reflect the outside. Will be a reflection of the outside, right? So you start to see things start to open up in your life and opportunities, more abundance. Like you start to magnetize more of what you want. You'll get more, and be more connected with your intuition, with your body, right? And this will help you and lead you into I've seen women, and it leads you into change. lead you into change your life, right? Lead you into a way of where you're able to change your life. Where it looks like it's blocked, you'll be able to see it start to open up, if that makes sense. So let's say if it's your career that you're unhappy about, right? You start to see more opportunities, right? You start to get more intuitive hits of maybe I should try this, maybe I should start doing this. Like you'll start to, and I've seen this in my clients, right? I've seen it in my own life. And or whether it is, there's a creative hobby that you've been wanting to do and embark on, right? But you don't even know how to start. You'll start having more ideas. You'll start seeing things open up for that, and then you'll start actually doing it. So you'll be confident enough to do it. So your life will start improving in many different ways. People have also improved their relationships with womb healing, right? They're able to feel more centered. They're able to feel more, not uneasy and not on edge, right? They're able to feel more centered and just more in their feminine being. So women have improved their relationships even, right? They've attracted healthier relationships with womb healing. So womb healing is a beautiful thing. It's not just getting rid of fibroids. It's so much deeper than that, right? It's a return back to you. It's really a return back to you. It's you prioritizing yourself. It's a self-love journey. So when you also start to see the anemia, your physical changes, right? The anemia, the nutrient deficiencies, all of that stuff will clear up when you are healing your womb. Okay. So hold on, I was reading this comment. You also start to see better menstrual cycles. You start to menstruate with ease. That's what I like to call it. Menstruate. When women work with me, they start to menstruate with ease. What does that mean? No longer the heavy menstrual cycles, the clots, all those symptoms of toxicity will be gone. So shorter menstrual cycles, your cycle should not be longer than really 3 days, 3 to 4 days. Shorter, easier, no more clots, no more pain, right? Lighter menstrual cycles, a lot lighter. For those of you a lot of women that have fibroids need adult diapers. And that's not to come down on you. That's just saying that's how much you're bleeding. No more of that. You can actually, and I've had my clients literally on the video say, I can actually now wear a regular pad. I don't need an adult diaper anymore because I'm bleeding. That's how heavy their menstrual cycles were and before working with me. You have more energy. You have more vitality. Your ovulation is also a lot healthier. Some of you guys may have issues with ovulation, right? Or you may have your period may come, if you may have a regular period. So what does a regular period mean? That means that if your period doesn't come let's say it comes every like 24 days, 23 days, that's an irregular period. That's very low progesterone. Or if your period comes every 23 or 24 days, then the next month it comes every 35 days, and the next month that's a regular period, right? So your periods start coming on time. They start coming on time. It should not be anything, if it's not 28 days, like 27, 26 days, or maybe 29, 20, 30 days. More than that, you're almost out of balance. Our bodies, your period should not come like just whenever it feels like it. I don't care if you're in your 40s or 50s. I don't care what age you are. It should not come whenever it feels like it, because they have lied to you guys and told you it's normal for your periods to be all over the place when you're in your 40s. That's not the truth. Not when your body's healthy. And I've worked with many women. As a matter of fact, the majority of the women I work with are in their 40s. 30s too, but those are the two popular. I work with women in their 50s as well, 20s, but majority of them are like 30s and 40s, okay? Because that tends to be when they want to have children. That tends to be when the symptoms get worse, right? That tends to be when, some of them when they're diagnosed. So you start to feel more connected with your body. You start and less afraid of your body. When a lot of women that have fibroids are afraid of their body, in a sense of, when I say afraid of your body, you're afraid of the symptoms. You're afraid, you don't feel comfortable in your body. It's almost like there's foreign tumor, there's foreign object in your body, right? So it feels, there's no connection with the body. There's no connection with the womb. There's just like, it's like you're living in another body. You don't know what symptom you're going to have today, how much you're going to bleed today. So you start to feel more confident in your body. You start to feel more, not be afraid of your body. You feel more connected with your body. You feel more in control of your body. That's important, because you are really in control of your body. So if but when you have fibroids, a lot of times, especially with the symptoms, you don't feel as though there's control there. You feel as though your body's just doing whatever. Your body is working against you. Your body is never working against you. It's always working for you. It's always giving you feedback. It's always giving you feedback, okay? So healing So you're gonna notice before you even go get an ultrasound or MRI to see the, the size of your fibroid, you're gonna start to feel like totally different, and that is priceless. That is priceless. So your health is gonna improve drastically when you are healing your fibroids. And I always say this: I don't care how big your fibroids is. Women that even with 27 centimeter fibroids, I've seen it when they're actually getting to the root cause of the problem. Within a month, their symptoms start to clear up. Even if you're a lot of times less than that, depending on where you are now, depending on what you're actually doing. So for women that are and then women are just out here just trying random remedies, it could be a year and they barely see any difference because they're not getting to the root cause of the problem. That's not healing. Healing holistically is not just trying, I'm gonna try castor oil today, I'm gonna try this diet change next week, I'm gonna try. That's not holistically healing. You just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what works. Real healing is getting to the root of the issue, okay? And incorporating bridging the physical and the emotional healing, right? And the energetic healing. So it's not just physically what you're doing, it's also too creating a safety in your body so that it can actually heal. Your body can't heal when it doesn't feel safe. Your hormones can't balance if it doesn't feel safe, right? And your body cannot heal in a state of stress, okay? So getting rid of fibroids is not a miracle, okay? It's a process, right? Holistic healing your womb requires consistency. It also requires structure. Structure is not, and discipline. It's not you just doing whatever. It's actually having structure to what you're actually doing, okay? And most women fail because they're out here listening to scattered information. This is why I'm very straightforward on my lives, right? You can't rely off scattered information, broken information, pieces of information. This is why I say 99% of what you hear about fibroids out there is BS. It's mostly false, or it's pieces of information. It's not really telling you how do these things develop, right? So, which is important, because if you don't know how something develops, you're going to think it's just random, and you're never going to be able to really get rid of it. You're not going to understand how it actually developed in the body. We have to start as women. A lot of women don't understand how their body works. They don't understand their bodies, and that's a huge problem. As a woman, it is your job to understand your body. And some of you guys have children, have daughters at that. So what are we're failing the next generation when we're walking around not understanding our bodies. So you want to actually be intentional about your healing, be intentional about what you're actually doing, and not just do years of trial and error like a lot of women have been doing, right? Because sometimes that trial and error you're doing, or just taking a whole bunch of supplements, doing this, you're doing a lot of times more harm than good. I've seen it, because a lot of women have said, I've tried the natural way and my fibroids have grown. When I ask them what they're doing, it's because they're doing a whole bunch of random stuff, and it's not, none of it is structured, none of it is getting to the root cause of the problem. So that's the issue. So this is why I'm opening up this 3-day workshop. I don't have to open up this workshop, right? Because I have actual programs where women work with me over a long period of time, and I prefer that. But I know that some women are not able to work with me for a longer period of time. So this is a 3-day workshop where even if you're not able to attend in person, you have the replays, access to the replays forever. They're yours. So if you haven't joined yet, go ahead and join. If you have fibroids, if you've been out here if you have fibroids and whether you've tried everything or you've been diagnosed and you're wanting to heal your womb naturally. And when I say naturally, holistically, actually get to the root cause of the problem, then you need to be in this workshop. Okay? You need to be in this workshop. Also, again, the next, I think, is either one or two. The 2 people that register get the bonus as well, which is 4 healing tools that will amplify your results of healing, along with the workshop. So you may want to, it's only $200. You may want to join as soon as possible so that you can get access to that. And also too, we are, it's on early bird price right now. Okay. You can use Klarna, Afterpay, all of that stuff. So you have access to that stuff. Okay. It's really important for you to know that fibroids do not come out of the blue, but I want you to also to be encouraged to know that if your body can develop a tumor, it can also dissolve a tumor. Let me say that again. If your body can develop a tumor, it can dissolve a tumor. But you have to create the environment in your body for it to heal. Your body is very powerful. Women's bodies are so powerful. The human body in general is very powerful, but especially women's bodies. Very powerful, very regenerative, very. So what you have, your womb is a portal. It's a sacred portal. So we cannot allow toxicity in the womb. We cannot allow things like fibroids. We cannot allow things like adenomyosis. We have to, like I said, if you that is the case, then we have to be dedicated to heal these issues. You can't just allow this stuff and allow it to go on for years. Because like I always say, you just register. Okay, perfect. Today, you will get the healing tools via email. So I'm happy to see somebody just registered for the workshop, Sama. So shout out to Sam, Sima. I know I'm saying your name wrong. I'm so sorry. Hopefully, let me know how to say your name. But I cannot wait to see you on this weekend in the workshop. It's going to be amazing. You're going to learn so much, and you're also going to get the healing tools that's going to amplify your results. So yay. Okay. Happy to see you there. Happy that you're registered. Anybody else? Does anybody else have any quick questions? I want to say this. Listen, your body's very powerful. It can heal, but you have to give it what it needs. You cannot deny your body of what it needs and think that your body can heal. You cannot just take a supplement and think that your body can heal. Okay. It's important. So I have a fibroid. It's 5 centimeters. At first, I was going to the toilet a lot, but now I stopped. Okay, I'm not understanding. So give me more information. But so that's pretty much it, ladies. How to actually start to heal your womb holistically. If you missed this live, if you're just coming in, be sure to watch the replay. It's on YouTube. Click the link in my bio to subscribe to our YouTube. Okay. You want to be on our YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to our email list, ladies. And even if you're on YouTube, also subscribe to our email list. Is the 3-day workshop different to the 12 steps on how to shrink your fibroids full course? Great question. Yes. So it's more information. It's a lot deeper, especially because we're talking about the emotional aspect of healing as well. It's a lot deeper than the 12 steps. Okay, you get more steps in the program, in the workshop. Yeah, we go deeper. We go deeper in the three-day workshop, and you actually have access to me to ask questions as well. So yeah, is it 100% different? Not 100% different, but it is more. I would say you're gonna learn more in the 3-day workshop. Yes. Okay, that's a good question. That is it. That's all. Ladies, if you're watching again from TikTok, click the link in my bio, subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our email list, join that 3-day workshop. And again, if you're in the 3-day workshop, I have to see how many people have registered, but the first, I think it was 3 I said, will get, as a matter of fact, if you register today, okay? If you register today, you will get the 4 healing tools, okay? And when I say today, I mean like I'm about to send it off in an email in like an hour, so within the hour, actually. But no, I'll give you till today. If you register today, you will get those 4 healing tools. But after today, that's it, right? You'll just get the workshop, all right? With still a great investment because it's on early bird pricing. Is it wise to just let them grow until menopause when they shrink? No, absolutely not. Because guess what, Penelope? Your fibroids do not shrink in menopause. Let me say that again. For those that are just coming in, your fibroids do not. As a matter of fact, women that are postmenopausal, you're welcome, Smiling Beach, you're welcome. Women that are postmenopausal, that is the most growing number. That is like the number one growing number of fibroids. Women that are postmenopausal, right? That group of women, 50s, women are experiencing fibroids to their 70s. Do not, that is actually the worst thing you can do because they're not going to shrink. And somebody let me know in the chat if you encountered menopause and you have fibroids, because people have to know, because I don't understand what's going on. That I can't believe doctors are still telling women that lie, and it pisses me off because women are staying and suffering, and then menopause comes and then they still have the fibroids. They still are dealing with the heavy bleeding. They're still, yes. As a matter of fact, the longer you deal with fibroids, the worse it gets. So no, that is the worst thing you can do. Shrink and dissolve them now so that you can live in bliss. You can actually, as a matter of fact, let me say this. Shrink and dissolve them now. You know why? So that you don't experience perimenopause. Yes. and you actually have no symptoms during menopause. Because if your hormones are in balance, if your body is healthy, you don't experience symptoms during menopause. You've been lied to that your body's supposed to malfunction at a certain age. No, not when your body's healthy, okay? Not when your hormones are in balance. And if you don't believe me, what I want you guys to do is go to the blue zones in the world. Go to the areas of where people are the healthiest and interview them. Ask them. Right now I'm in Spain. Ask them, is it this normal to have 20 years of perimenopause before menopause comes and to suffer all for 3 decades of your life? No, it's not normal. Yes, true. I do feel free now since I quit going to doctors years ago. Listen, sometimes, and I'm not telling, I hate to tell people, because if you are still living a toxic lifestyle, then you had no choice but to go to the doctor. But what I am saying is that, hold on. Okay, so the live will end with 5 minutes. What I am saying is that when when you're actually taking care of your health every single day, there is no need to just go there and sit there and have them tell you to get on medications or do this. Like, there's no need for that. They're not there to heal you. They're not going to get rid of you. They're not going to help you heal your fibroids. They're not going to help you shrink your fibroids. They're not going to help you get rid of your fibroids. So why are we there? What are we doing there? Right? Why are we going to the doctors for fibroids when they don't help you get rid of fibroids? They're not helping you get rid of fibroids. They just want to cut you open or take out your uterus entirely, or give you medication that's gonna worsen the toxicity in your body. So yeah, no, we don't want to do that. So anyway, again, the workshop is on Friday. I'm excited. 3 more days. Okay, make sure you guys join. Early bird price, $200 only. And if you join today, you get access to the 4 healing, the special bonus, which is 4 healing tools that will help you amplify your results. All right, love you guys. If you're watching from YouTube, be sure to click the link in the description box. You'll see the link to subscribe to our email list, and also you'll see the link to get into the workshop. If you're watching from TikTok, the link to join the workshop is in my bio. Also, the link to subscribe to the email list and also subscribe to the YouTube channel is in my bio. All right, you guys have a lovely day. Be sure again to get on the email list. If you want to know also when I'm going live, email list. All right, bye.